So he was born in Ohio, the USA, a musician who came to Korea to become a singer, not only English, but also Filipino, Spanish, French, etc. A language genius who speaks various languages. He's performed in Europe, the Philippines, Mexico. He's appeared on overseas TV radio programs as well, loved by international fans. Such a sweet, charming voice. He's showed off that sort of jazz-style music as well, quite rare in the K-pop scene, and a musician who has established himself as a singer-songwriter. Dabit is with us in the Super K-pop studio. Please say a big hello to the Super K-pop listeners.
Hi guys, this is Dabit. I guess I don't need to introduce myself.
No, everyone knows you.
Yeah, I've been part of ARIRANG for quite a long time. I think most people here are probably familiar with me.
Yeah.
Good to be back.
Nice to have you here. We were just talking. We came in the same year, 2013.
Yeah.
Crazy, dude.
Yeah. To ARIRANG, yeah, it's crazy.
That's amazing. So nice to meet you, and I was really looking forward to today's show because obviously, like, to talk about your music and your life as well. I don't know, you're somebody I think lots of people are very curious about. Mm-hmm. So I can't wait for today. Can't wait for it.
Yeah, same.
Has it been a while since you've done radio?
So I've been doing a lot of radio on and off. So I did, from, as you said, 2013, I was always a guest here. And then I also did my own show in another station for about 2 years. And then, and now I'm focusing more on music at the moment. So I'm kind of the go-to sub at the moment. Because, it's like I already know my way around here, and I know a lot of the people. I know a lot of the DJs. So it's just like, I'm an easy pick at the moment. So it's nice.
It's because we can rely on you. That's what it is. We can rely on you to be amazing.
I mean, I don't mind because I love radio. I love talking. I love like sharing stories. So I think it's right up my alley.
Cool. I mean, you did say, because before the whole week we've been playing this audio clip that you sent us, and one thing that sprung to mind is you've done so much radio and stuff, but you said you were quite nervous for today.
Yeah.
Why were you quite nervous?
I think it's just because it's I'm singing live.
Yeah.
And I haven't sung my songs in a really, really long time. I haven't performed in general in a really long time.
Yeah.
Especially, with Corona and everything.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, it's everything just kind of like stopped for me right there. So I'm just kind of recently starting things back up again.
Yeah.
So in that aspect, like, I'm not like super nervous or anything, but it just kind of, I'm like, ooh, what am I gonna do? Like, I should probably refresh some of the songs and most of the songs that I've written in the past like 5 years, I haven't performed them at all before. So yeah.
Dude, no need to be nervous. We all know how great you are. So so looking forward to. And our producer as well.
Yeah.
You started working with her back in the day.
Yeah. I worked with Yuna PD님 like for Hotbeat back in the day.
Oh, wow.
I hadn't seen her in like 7 years, and she looks exactly the same.
She looks exactly the same.
Exactly the same. Yeah.
That's scary.
Same signature short hair, like.
It doesn't get older.
Yeah.
Like a vampire. It's crazy. It's crazy. So happy you're here, as I said, and I'm so looking forward to getting to ask you lots of different questions and have a great conversation. Firstly, your name Dabit is kind of, because I feel like it's a very familiar name, but I'm also like, I wonder what it means as well. Yeah.
Well, to give a little bit of backstory on how Dabit came to be, like my English name is David.
Yeah.
And my Korean name is Jungwook.
Jungwook. Yeah.
Yeah, Jungwook. So basically, I wanted to debut with my English name first because everyone in the States called me David.
Of course, yeah.
So in Korean, it would become David, right? But then right around the time I came to Korea, my other good friend, David O, he ended up debuting back then too. Yeah. And then I was like, oh man, I don't think there can be two Davids. So maybe I should switch it up a little. So I was like, maybe he can be David and maybe I could be like David or something. You know, like something like that.
Like a Spanish-y way of saying it, David.
And then I was like, David seems a little bit too long. Like, let's try to make something a little bit shorter and like stage name like. So I tried Dabit, and I remember I called my friend and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna use this name, stage name Dabit. Like, oh, is that a riff off your Korean name as well? I'm like, what do you mean a riff off my Korean name?
Yeah.
It's a riff off David. They're like, no,
Yeah.
no, because your Korean name, it means all light too. I'm like, oh yeah, it does. So Dabit, although it's spelled differently, it's not the light spelling Dabit, but it sounds like, all light. But my Korean name also means all light. So it's like a perfect in between between my Korean and American side.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's cool. David O got there first, huh?
Yeah, he did.
David O got there first.
He did. But I'm happy.
Of course.
I think it was meant to be this way.
Yeah, absolutely. And so let's go back. You grew up in the US, like we were saying, which is Ohio, and you obviously came to Korea I think you said to me 2010, right? 2010.
2010.
Wow, that's a while back as well. How did the decision come about? That must have been because I did a similar thing. I did it in 2011, a bit later. But how was that whole thing for you? Was it nerve-wracking? Was it exciting? Let's take it back.
I was really excited. I actually didn't know I was going to go into music. And my parents didn't want to have me go into music to begin with. It's like this typical story.
Yeah.
But luckily, I got into Berklee College of Music. And I even got a scholarship. So I was able to convince... and I hadn't gotten any training before, and I was able to convince my dad. I'm like, this is the road I was meant to go.
Yeah.
Please. And then he's like, okay. So he let me go to school because in his mind, he's like, at least he can become a music professor or something, if he graduates.
Right.
And then mid-semester, I took a break and I was like, I'm going to do an internship in Korea. And then he's like, oh yeah, that's great. And I actually did get an internship in Korea at a broadcasting station. And while I was working there, I auditioned like crazy.
Wow.
And then I got into a few companies and I got to choose one, and then I just signed the contract and I was like, oh no, I'm bound here. I can't leave. I can't. Oh no.
I'm legally bound here.
Yeah, it's like, I guess I have to finish school later, and then and then now it's been 14 years, so.
Wow. How did your dad react to that? Was he? Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't very happy, but I mean, he eventually accepted it. And not many people graduate from Berklee College of Music. Like all the singers and songwriters who are actually from Berklee College of Music, a lot of them go for a few years, but they never completely graduate.
That's interesting. Okay, well that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah.
Probably. So actually, it wasn't singing the reason you came here, but it must have been on your mind because you were going to auditions.
Yeah. Well, I was going to. I was auditioning for idol companies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did want to sing, but in my mind, I think because there's only a certain age limit that you can kind of comfortably be an idol.
Yeah.
So I was like 2021 at that time, and I was like, even then you're kind of stretching it.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let's try the idol thing out for a few years, and then if it does go well, then at least I'll have like a bigger platform to start my music career with.
That's cool.
But then the whole thing didn't work out, and then I was just like, I was in the company, and then I left the company, and then I just decided to just start doing my own thing. And
yeah, great. Love it. I mean, you mentioned Berklee. Berklee is a institution, comes up a lot here. Like now and again, we get artists who've been there. Last week's guest, a Thai artist called Ali, actually is currently going. So it's intriguing. How is that? Because I never, my dad didn't let me do music for college. I did something different, right? So I'm always curious, like how that experience was. Because it's like the most famous college in the world for it. Right.
There are a lot of famous people who graduated from there or went there.
Yeah.
Even when I went there, I remember Somuntak was also there. And she was also in the same semester as me. And also Henry from Super Junior was also... I think he took a summer semester.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really get to be close with them or anything, but I always saw them, and then I was just like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's really more about the connections you make there.
For the future.
Unless you're gonna be a producer, or if you're doing like film scoring, or maybe you're gonna do music business, then I feel like they're definitely is some merit to actually graduating and taking the whole entire thing, course and everything. But college is expensive.
Yeah, man.
Especially in America.
And,
the US. Because Berkeley's a private college. $50,000 a year, easy.
Ooh.
So it's like and music. It's not the most realistically. You might or might not make a lot of money.
Who knows, right?
Yeah. So you don't want a huge debt going into being a musician.
That's crazy. By the way, my dad didn't force me to go to that university. He suggested it. I just want to, just in case my dad sees this, he might be a bit sad. So there we go. Interesting. And another thing, well, so I always think, Dabit, he's got great brains, right? Went to Berkeley, did all of that, cool career. But the languages you speak as well, that is very rare.
Right. So I think there's a slight misunderstanding there. So I've been to a lot of different countries. I've probably been to like over 30 different cities in different countries around the world. Like I've been to every single continent at this point, except Antarctica. But
Me too. Yeah, me too.
But something that I like to do is I think especially because my career was actually built off of fans overseas. Because I did my own thing, and because I didn't have a company and I was freelancing everything, I needed a place to start. So I started in places where I started performing in places that didn't necessarily have the budget to bring big K-pop stars over.
Right.
But the fandom was very big.
Cool.
So then I went over there a few times. I started in like Tunisia, in North Africa.
Wow.
And then that basically exploded, and that started. And then I went to the Philippines, and then I went to like India, and then like South America. And I think I started appreciating, just the cultural exchange that we always had when we went there. So one thing that I like to do when I go to any country is to learn some of their language and also learn a song by their language.
Yeah.
So whenever I go to their country, I learned a Filipino song. I learned a song in Portuguese. I learned a Hindi song.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's I think because of that, and there are a lot of videos of me singing these songs.
Yeah.
A lot of people assume that I speak the language fluently.
Because you just don't get it here, that's why.
But I don't. But I definitely put in a lot of hours
Wow.
to perfect it. It's just, yeah.
Do you know what you just said there, which is amazing? I've also been to like a crazy number of countries, like performed and stuff. The one country I couldn't master, I couldn't sing was Portuguese.
Portuguese was hard.
Portuguese is so hard.
Yeah, it was really hard. It was so different than I expected.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Because people think it's similar to Spanish, but it's
absolutely not.
It's completely different.
It's completely different. Yeah.
That is tough. It's tough. Well, we won't make you speak languages today. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I mean, acting seems to be something that kind of happened as well, right? Because 2013 you released an album, 2014 a drama. Is that something you're still sort of?
So I think I picked it up as a hobby.
Yeah.
I think in general, music and acting are somewhat similar art forms. They're a form of expression, and usually music you express if you're a songwriter, you express your like current emotions or experiences through your personal experiences.
Yeah.
And you kind of get it out through song. But acting, I started getting into it because you get to be someone completely different. And that was something kind of really new to me. And in high school, I was big in doing musicals, and I was also a part of like a production of Guys and Dolls. I was like the lead for Sky Masterson. So I was always interested in it, but I never dived into it. So I did like a good 6 years of acting lessons in Korea. And I did a lot of things here and there. I never went super serious with it, but I think in a sense it helped me not only just, burn some time and like, do something fun as a hobby, but it also helped with my depth in performing as well. Right. So in a lot of ways, I feel like it helped me. So I think it's, it's something I'm not practicing right now. Yeah. But it's something I'm always open to.
So who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows? It's a maybe.
Yeah.
Cool. And also another thing I did want to mention, because I don't know if I could do something like this. You appeared. It's last year. you were on this. I mean, we call it an observational love program. It says in my notes here.
Observational love
Yeah,
program.
yeah, it's very interesting, isn't it? Now, obviously, this sort of program is basically where 24 hours, literally,
Yeah.
the camera's on you, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness me! Firstly, how did you come about appearing in it? You know, how was that decision made, and how was the experience? Because that sounds, it must have difficulties.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a wild story. In general, like to keep things short, I was basically in a 8-year relationship, and I broke up from that 8-year relationship, and I went through like kind of, I went through kind of like the all-time low because we were thinking about getting married and everything. It was like this whole deal, and then I just as a joke, my friend was like, "Why don't you just try going on this dating reality show?" I was like, that's funny." And then it's funny because we actually watched season 1 together.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, yeah." Then maybe it'll kind of be like a subtle message.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I ended up applying, thinking I wouldn't get it because one, I'm a little bit older, and like, it's just. I just didn't think it would work out, but then I ended up getting a call back immediately, and then it ended up happening, and kind of just flipped my world around in general.
Because that happened last year, right?
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And that must have changed life for you completely. Because people probably recognize you like a lot more,
Right?
Because of that program as well, I'm guessing.
Right, and I think there's also the fact that it wasn't a normal dating program. It was like a boy love kind of program. So it forced me to come out of the closet in some ways. So I think in that aspect, my life changed, but it also kind of gave me so much more freedom. Yeah. And I think it kind of inspired me to start doing music again in some ways because, I found I have this new identity that I can show people now, and I don't have to hide things anymore, and I can just write about these experiences without being like, oh, is this too obvious or is this too much? So I think now musically, I'm on my journey of trying, to authentically express who I am through my music and not some kind of, filtered version of me,
Exactly.
Yeah.
That must have been such a relief.
Yeah. Oh, huge relief.
Because your whole life,
Yeah.
doing that must be very difficult.
And I think it's a relief, but also it's a journey in itself.
Yeah.
I thought, once you
okay.
come out, it's like finished, but once you come out, you realize that there's still so much that you don't know about yourself because a lot of times, you put your life, purpose into validation and everything. And all of a sudden, now that you have that validation, you're like, okay, now who am I?
Yeah.
And then now that's kind of the stage I'm in. So I kind of almost feel like I'm going through a second stage of puberty in
I understand
my 30s.
that. I understand
if that makes sense. Yeah.
That makes so much sense. Well, I think everybody applauds you because it must have taken a lot of bravery, and you did amazingly for the past 15 years, if we call it 15 years, something like that. You've been going at this thing. It's crazy. 14 years. It's 2024.
Yeah.
14 years. Amazing. Dude, we've got to talk about music as well, because obviously that's one of the big reasons you are here.
Right.
It was October last year. You put out an album called Panic. Do you want to tell us about the album in particular? We did mention it briefly, but talk about it. What did you want to put in terms of a message or music, whatever you want? Have we got the...
So basically, Panic is the song. It's one of the songs that I talked about, self-expression after coming out, and I think Panic was one of the first songs that I was able to write completely freely, not from I think more from a personal side, because I think there's also a side of me that wanted to not be too intense with the emotions that I portrayed. And that's why I was always like, whenever I wrote music, sometimes it would take a dark turn. And I'd just be like, that's too dark. I need to somehow shift it. And then all of a sudden it turned into a love song. And then I was just like, did I fail? But it still kind of sounds like a bop. So I just kind of ended up going with it. But
Yeah.
it was the first time I was able to kind of really take my raw emotions and panic is basically about anxiety. And it's about, the anxiety of basically coming out of an 8-year relationship and trying to survive each day, because it's, as an adult, you're expected to, just kind of be functioning in the society. But, I always go and I always had this kind of, people always knew me of being like the happy-go-lucky person. And they never really saw my darker sides.
Right.
And I feel like the darker side of me was actually the majority of where I was at most of my life, with like not coming out, being in the closet and everything. So there was always this like deep set anxiety that I had that I never shared. And Panic was just kind of a little glimpse into my psyche in that aspect. So
Brilliant.
It's one of my favorite songs that I've written.
Brilliant,
for
man.
sure, yeah.
Well, we're going to listen to that later on in the show, actually. So I can't wait for that, definitely. But we're also really lucky today because you're gonna perform for us today, man. You're gonna sing for us.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. The first song you're gonna do is called "Don't Wanna Be." And would you like to briefly introduce it before we have a listen?
Yes. So basically, I told you how Corona kind of messed everything up.
Yeah.
This was the last song that I wrote that I never got to perform. So I had this song, I had like another song, and then I had like 2 more songs, and all of these songs, I just released and I never got to perform. So it would have been nice if I could have performed Panic because it's my most recent one, but I just wanted to kind of start tracing back and start performing like the older songs that I actually couldn't really perform. And this one's basically about, having to meet expectations of your partner that they expect, and just trying to force yourself to fit into their mold that they expect of you. So it's kind of like a song about I understand that you want this, but I don't think that's who I am, so like I don't want to be your man.
Cool.
Yeah.
Love it. Dude, well, if you'd like to get ready, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Listeners, Dabit is with us in the studio. But what a start to an interview. I am just hanging on every word Dabit is saying today. And listeners, I'm sure you are as well. After this, we'll be back, obviously doing more fun things, asking more questions. But for now, I can't wait for this. Dabit is going to perform live in the studio, a song called Don't Wanna Be. Buddy, whenever you're ready.
Yep, I'm ready.
All right.
We got this spark, but nothing ignites. Trying to hold my breath to keep you around. I don't wanna be what you want, I know who I am. No fireworks when you blow me out. I'm talking about, I can't climb to save my life. Build walls around your tower, baby, I can't get inside. You asked me to man up, but I don't understand. What more can I give if you don't reach out your hand? You don't know what you wanna love. Make me feel I'm the man enough. I just wanna I'll just save my breath, 'cause I don't wanna be your man. I'll let you go, I don't wanna be your man. I don't wanna be your man. You're way too cool, you pull in the crowd. Little insecure, hard to figure you out. See you hanging on the edge sometimes, I pull you right in. You shoot me down, down, caving me in. You know that I'm struggling just as much as you. You're looking for my problems, baby, that just makes us fools. You asked me to man up, but I don't understand. What more can I be if you want more than I have? You don't know what you wanna love. You make me feel I'm not man enough. And I'll just save my breath. I don't wanna be your man. I hope you found him, someone who buys you diamonds, riding with top down styling. That ain't me, that ain't me. 6 feet with abs and ballin'. That ain't me, that ain't me. You don't know what you wanna, don't know what you wanna love. Make me feel I'm the man enough. And I got so much more to give, yeah. I'll just save my breath, 'cause I don't wanna be your man. I'll let you go, I don't wanna be your man. Oh, I don't wanna be your man.
Dude, that was amazing. Incredible. That was Dabit. Live
gosh,
in
I
the
got through that.
studio. With Don't Wanna Be. Do you know what? Can I just say, how long has it been since you performed live?
It's been like a few years.
Dude, it was pitch perfect, man. It
No,
was
my
so
gosh.
good.
I was
So
like
good.
trying so hard, and then I remember like I think in the first verse I almost forgot some of the lyrics. But I mean, given it's the first time performing this song like ever in my whole entire life,
Yeah,
and
amazing.
the thing is, I recorded this, and I didn't practice this song for like 5 years.
Right.
I guess 4 years. I released it and I didn't sing it at all, and I was like, oh my gosh, I should probably practice it. I had to like relearn the lyrics, and you know how like
Yeah.
even if you write the song, you wrote the song and it's your own experience, you forget the lyrics sometimes.
Dude, honestly, my debut song, I've sung it thousands of times, but now I don't remember the lyrics. now.
Yeah, oh
It's
my
tough,
gosh.
tough.
But I mean, I got
amazing.
through it. I'm happy I did it.
Crazy
I
good.
got it out of the way. So
amazing.
yeah, this is actually my number one song.
Yeah, man.
This is my number one stream song ever. Yeah.
Love it. Don't Wanna Be. Dude, so many comments coming in. Good job, Dabit. It's okay. You are still good. Lita writes in. Still amazing, Dabit. You're a natural performer, Leon Taylor says. He also said something really cool, actually, earlier. I'm appreciating the lyrics more after hearing Dabit speak about his life experiences. I'm sure many others will be able to relate to this song too. I think that's maybe the biggest compliment you can probably get, right? People can relate to your music.
Right. And I think in general, I like how a lot of the songs that I've written now, you know, they've always been a deep part of my music. I think every single song that I've written have honestly always been in the context of like a heterosexual relationship.
Yeah.
From the fans' point of view, but
Right.
I always made sure to even though it shows that way, I made sure to always put some kind of deeper meaning that I only knew.
Right.
And I think in that aspect, it kind of gave new life to the music for me.
No doubt.
And I think it gives a new storyline for like the listeners as well. So like this is just one of them as well. I wrote this while being in a relationship as well. So I think in general, you know, I really, I like this song.
It's cool,
Yeah,
man.
it's one of my favorite songs.
Love it. Ah, man. I love how all three are very different as well, genre-wise. Just so cool. Showing a wide spectrum of stuff you do.
Yeah. I think I
Nice.
like doing a lot of different types of genres.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd be surprised. You think something doesn't work, but then you try it out and it somehow does.
Absolutely. Buddy, I'm so excited that we get another live song from you today.
Oh, yeah.
And we did talk about it a little bit.
Yeah. I'm going to sing you guys up and down. Because I'm pretty sure I've seen Bibiana on this show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was here for like a long time as a guest.
Right. That's
And
what I
then
thought. Yeah.
She came out recently as well with
Yeah.
her recent single too, so she's cool, yeah.
Yeah. So I just thought it kind of, you know,
I like that.
loosen the atmosphere. You'll hear a familiar voice, and she's
Oh,
close
nice.
with me. So I mean,
Is her voice going to be on the
it's
on
gonna
the live
be on
version?
here. Yeah, because she's not here to sing it with me.
Okay.
So
I love it. So yeah, if you'd like to get ready, buddy. Guys, after this we'll be back asking more fun stuff and obviously to wrap up the show as well. But for now, live in the studio, listeners, Dabit's going to do Up and Down featuring, now known as Baby Anna, but featuring Hi Anna. Buddy, ready?
Yep. 너와 나 만나서 소박하게 하루를 즐기는 날 다가와 천천히 아직은 알아가는 단계니까 눈이 마주치면 자극되는 내 맘이 점점 이상해져 취한 사람처럼 빨개져서 괜찮냐고 걱정하는 너 One, two, three. 심장이 쿵쿵 뛰면서도 찌릿찌릿해서 내가 병에 걸린 것만 같아 열이 활활 올라오면 손바닥에 땀이 적셔 누가 나를 살려 제발 널 보면 내 맘이 up and down yeah. I like it, 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 baby, I like that, I like it, I like it, I like it, I like it. 눈이 마주치며 자극되는 내 맘이 점점 이상해져 취한 사람처럼 빨개져서 괜찮냐고 걱정하는 너 심장이 쿵쿵 뛰면서도 찌릿찌릿해서 내가 병에 걸린 것만 같아 열이 활활 올라오면 손바닥에 땀이 적셔 누가 나를 살려 제발 너와 나 만나서 소박하게 하루를 즐기는 날 다가와 천천히 아직은 날아가는 단계니까 yeah.
What? Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Up and Down by Dabit featuring Hi Anna, listeners. Dude, your vocals are just so on point today. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. Right, listeners, that was amazing. Another live song that we got from Dabit. This is turning out to be such a fun show, actually. Such a fun show. Right, listeners, now, of course, we've got so much more to get through here on today's show before we wrap up. And yes, what we're going to do next up maybe is have a look and see if people... Oh, we've got comments, actually. Dude, do you want to read out comments?
Oh, yeah, sure,
that might be nice. Yeah, okay.
Let's see. This is why I like Wednesday second hour. It's more to. Oh wow, David's voice and Bebe Yara voice really blend well. Love this song so much. So you ain't gotta do it like that. Perfecto.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you guys. There's a different kind of charm when David sings in Korean. Yeah, I thought it'd be nice.
Okay, cool. Dude, before we continue, we need to go over to the newsroom very quickly. Okay, so we're right back. We had a bit of news there, unfortunately, cutting us off. But yeah,
Oh.
so what we were talking about?
Oh,
Korean.
Oh yeah.
It's a bit different.
Yeah. I've been recently. I've just been releasing songs in English because it's my first language, so it's more comfortable to express myself in a lot of variety of different ways.
Yeah.
I can have more fun, playing around with words. But yeah, I kind of miss writing in Korean as well and singing in Korean too.
Yeah.
It's something I kind of left behind a long time ago, but yeah, this kind of
Bring it back, man.
brings back nostalgia.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, listeners. So we are going to move on now to what we call Flex Interview. We haven't got a lot of time to do this actually,
Okay,
but
yeah.
let's have a look and see if we can try and get through some of these. Because you wrote down 3 things for us
Yes.
that we're going to look at, and let's talk about them. Dude, you've written rock music. What's going on?
Yeah, that's the genre of music that I've been kind of obsessed with. I go through phases. I really do. And
okay.
it switches like every few weeks.
Yeah.
But currently, I've kind of been into soft rock, kind of rock, mostly pop rock music. But that's kind of the genre that I've been focusing on. And yeah, some of the songs in the future that are already set to come out
Really
will be somewhat of
nice.
that genre.
Cool. I
Yeah.
love that. I'm looking forward to that. I've got a feeling it's going to sound incredible, though. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Love it. You've also written down interior, but your writing is beautiful, by the way.
Oh no! What are you talking about? I have like a
Mine is-
5-year-old's handwriting.
Honestly,
No,
it's beautiful. Interior. What's this about then?
I put down interior because I don't know. I just been kind of into. I've just been looking around a lot for inspiration.
Yeah.
For, like clothes, anything aesthetic in general, and I've just been looking a lot at like those kind of catalogs with like the interior designs. And apparently nowadays, I thought it was all about minimalism a long time, and now it's about maximalism.
Oh, that's good news for me.
It's about maximalism, and it's about the lived-in spaces. So if there's a little bit of mess, but it's like somewhat, it looks lived in, so it's actually okay. You don't have to clean it up.
I quite like that.
Yeah, because everyone's kind of, more about the reality. This is the real me,
Yeah.
not the curated version of me.
Exactly.
So I'm kind of trying to figure something out with the interior and trying to redo my space.
I feel so much better about my life. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm quite messy.
Embrace
Yeah.
the chaos, embrace the mess, guys.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. Good stuff. You've also written down skincare as well, buddy.
Yeah, skincare and skincare 시술s, basically, which means procedures. Now that I'm getting like into my mid-30s, yeah, I'm kind of obsessed with like all of the options available because Korea is kind of the mecca of skincare and procedures in general. So, there's so many non-invasive treatments available nowadays.
Yeah.
You'd be amazed.
amazed.
Yeah, so I've been looking into a lot of laser treatments.
Yeah.
Like skin boosters, like skin Botox, all
Dude.
that it completely rejuvenates your face.
It does. I can hook you up. I know somebody.
Oh, really?
At
No
At
way.
a really good place. I'll hook you up.
Oh, yeah. That'd be amazing.
Cool, absolutely. Cool. All right, before we wrap up, actually, very quickly, listeners, I really wanted to show this Dabit because Siska wrote into us from Indonesia. Dude, she obviously remembers you, right? And she says,
Siska Andriani.
Yeah. We like to call her Siska 19 because of Sister 19.
Oh. Okay, I got it.
She says, please come to Jakarta again. Let's go eat with Rissi. Do you miss Indonesian food? And also, dude, memories. Are we going to look at a photo?
Oh my gosh.
Dude, that's
Oh my
you.
gosh. That's from so long ago.
This is a long time ago. So there's that.
Oh my
and there's,
god.
look at that! Dude, you look exactly the same.
Why is my hair orange?
Your hair is different, but dude, you look exactly the same. I love that.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I've known Siska for a really long time. Met her through radio, and
Yeah.
yeah, she's just been one of the comfort people in my life that's
She's cool.
always just kind of been there,
Yeah, she's cool, and that's an album that she's got from you as well.
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
cool.
Miss you,
Ah,
Siska.
that's quite nostalgic, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's nostalgic. Wonderful. Thank you for that, Siska. Dude, unfortunately, we have to wrap up the show. I wish we could do we need more time with Dabit, I think.
Oh yeah, I talk a lot,
When
guys.
Dabit comes, we need
I talk a lot.
we need more time. Dude, how was it for you today? It's been a while since you've done something like this, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I felt somewhat more comfortable than I thought I was going to be.
Good.
Yeah, I just kind of went with the flow and I just felt right at home. So, I mean, yeah, it was good to be here.
I love that. Please just come as often as you can, man. We'd love to.
Yeah.
I'd love to have you come on and we could talk more about music and stuff. Yeah.
I am releasing a single next month.
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to ask. So what's coming up this year? So next month?
Yeah, next month, I mean, I guess I'll just say it's on the 23rd. I'm releasing something.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I'm releasing something else after that as well. So I already
Cool.
have 3 songs ready for this year that are finished.
Wow. Yeah.
So yeah, this year's going to be jam-packed with music.
I'm so excited for that. So it's February
23rd is going to be the
23rd.
first, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So excited for that. Dude, I'll let you wrap it up and just say one last thing to the Super K-pop listeners, please.
Yeah, I mean, thanks guys for sticking around through the whole show, and thank you for everyone who've stuck around through the journey, especially the ones that have been like the OGs. It's like 2013. I love you guys so much. You guys mean the world to me. And yeah, thanks for listening to me perform. It's been a while, but I'm glad I did it today. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much to Dabit for joining us. That was so enjoyable. That's all we got time for. We got to wrap it up there, guys. We'll see Dabit next time here, and I'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. This is Super K-pop. I'm your host, Sam Carter. The last song I'm going to play, we mentioned this earlier, it's Dabit's Panic, and we'll say goodbye for now. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.